Hi friends, how are y'all doing today? So, I am going to talk to you guys about my April challenges, how I feel like I did, like with my challenges, and if I thought that I met them, and if I thought I met them, did I meet them all the way? Did I just, how did I do? But before we talk about that, I thought I would talk to you about my location. I know it's not the most flattering background. It's also not the most flattering angle. But I have a tripod that maybe goes up 2 feet. And I have to sit, I don't have a ring light. I don't have a tall tripod. So I have to sit in front of my windows. And I can't film this in the living room because my husband's watching TV in the living room, even though he offered to move. I can't film it in the dining room because it's attached to the living room and my daughter's on the computer doing schoolwork. I can't film it in the back room because my son's in the back room. And it's too hot outside. It's probably... My husband's truck today said it was 95 degrees, and I believe it. My app on my phone said it was like 85 degrees, which is not true. It's pretty hot down here. So let me go over, okay, so we've got my location out of the way. I know it's a crappy location. Nothing I can do about it. I apologize. So let's go over the things that, the goals, the challenges that I had set for myself. So I wanted to do VITA every day, and VITA stands for Video Every Day in April. My second one was plan outfits every day and really try my best to look good. My third was planning every moment and sticking to it. My fourth was 1 hour of yard work, outside work every day. And my fifth one was exercise a little bit more. So the reason, let's start with the first one, VITA, video every day for a month. I wanted to do VITA because I have seen other people do it, and I knew it would be a challenge, but I also thought, this would be a great month to do vlogging every day because my son's 16th birthday was in April. Easter's in April. This year's Easter's in April. And there was something else going on in April. And so I thought all those things, it would be really fun to take you along with all the shopping and the planning and all of that. And so that's why I wanted to do VITA every day. And then once we got our stay-at-home orders and I knew we'd be staying home, I just said, I'm just going to go ahead and do it every day anyway, because I might want to look back at it at this time, for whatever reason. It'd be like kind of nice to have a video log of what we did every day. And so I just thought I would do that. And so I'm going to give myself an A+. Even though I didn't actually put up a video every day, I did put up a video almost every day, and I did film every day. So I'm proud of myself because, like I said, in my April monthly challenge video, like intro, I haven't exercised my discipline muscle that much. Like that muscle, like you don't want to do it, but you do it anyway. And I did it anyway. So I think part of it was easier for me to do than it would have been otherwise, because my whole family is at home and I don't feel like I took any family time away by editing and uploading at night. So, but also my thyroid was way off because I had to ration my pills. So my thyroid number was like, my thyroid is basically not functioning, and I have to have pills in order to function, and I was taking one every other day. So April was a hard month for me for that reason. Okay, so as far as April goes and documenting it goes, this was a hard month for me. Like I said, my thyroid was out of whack. I knew that this quarantine thing would be mentally tough, but some days I just felt like my mood definitely was cycling, and like I'd have 2 or 3 really good days, and then I'd have like a panicky day, and so that kind of made it hard to do Vita, because like I was just exhausted, and then some days I just felt beat down by the world. On those days I could have pushed myself, but I felt like it was in my best interest mentally not to. One really good thing that came out of this was I kind of had a head knowledge of how physically demanding Vita would be, but I didn't have like a working knowledge of how hard it would be. And it's a lot of work to film kind of important parts of your day, or the things that you think are interesting. Trying to look halfway decent, trying to keep your house halfway decent while you do it. And then at the end of all that, to sit down at night and try to make an interesting video that won't bore people to tears, and then upload it, and then do all the behind the scene. If you're a video creator, you know all the behind the scenes stuff that you do with the description box and the thumbnail and all that stuff. So I got like firsthand working knowledge of how difficult Vita is, so I'm glad I did it. For those of you who watched it, thank you very much. You're my angels. I really mean that, and I do appreciate it. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you watching it and leaving comments. It really means the world to me, so thank you. So on to my second challenge: plan outfits every day and really try my best to look good. Well, I gained about 8 pounds. I'm gonna round it up to 10 because of my thyroid situation and my lack of medication. So I'm running out of clothes to wear. I have like 3 shirts that fit, and yeah, I'm wearing the same clothes all the time. Plus we are staying home, so, and it's hot where I live in South Texas, so I really didn't do a great job at that one, but I knew that going into this, and I even said this, that's probably one I would not do. I didn't count on the fact that I scheduled Preston's and my exercise time for 1 o'clock, which was not smart on my part, but I did. So if I got up and I put makeup on, I did my hair, and then I went out and exercised in this Texas heat, it just undid all of that. It takes me a good hour to cool down once I get inside. My face turns beet red. I'm just like, I need to just lay down and cool down, and then I have to get up and start dinner. So yeah, I tried not to look bad, but there's no way I could just look my best. It's just, you know, just wasn't happening. Not in April in South Texas, and not during the quarantine. And there's one thing I forgot to add about Vita. I know I did some controversial videos. Like, my viewpoint on the coronavirus is different than yours will be, probably because of how much like mainstream media news you consume, and also the region where you live. So down here in South Texas, where I live, we have not had, we had like at the peak, it was like the last time I checked was like 89 cases. And we have a population of over like 360,000. So that's like 0.00 something of the population. And then the county I live in, we had like 10, 11 cases of however many. And so it was around the same. Like the chances of us getting the coronavirus was very slim. I know it's different in other places. I know if you live in New York, it's different. If you live in Connecticut, it's different. Other places, other hot spots, other, big, huge cities, it's different. It's also warmer down here. We have a lot of sunshine, which is a natural disinfectant, and it's just warmer. And so we are going to have less of the virus down here. So trust me, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. If you know me in real life, you know I'm not a mean person. I'm very sarcastic, and I have a very dry sense of humor, and sometimes that comes off as me being like callous and mean and unfeeling. And I always feel bad when people take me that way, because I know in my heart I'm not mean. And so if you live in a place where the virus has impacted you personally, like your family, your community, my heart goes out to you. I wouldn't, the way this virus sounds, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. So I'm not trying to piss people off when I say that I'm gonna leave my house and I don't feel bad about it. I'm not trying to piss anybody off. It's just that's the reality down here. So I think Vita was kind of important to document that as well. To show people, if suddenly I get big on YouTube and people end up watching these videos, they'll see that it wasn't that bad down here right now. And I think that's kind of important to document. I wish more people would be documenting their everyday life, like wherever they are, so we'll know, from like a non-news source, Okay, so got that out of the way. Planning every moment and sticking to it. So I did this. So I give myself an A+ for this in lockdown. We have 2 kids in school. One is in high school, one is in college. So I'm cooking 3 times a day. My husband does help. We have 4 humans and 5 animals in this house, in this cottage that's just over 1,000 square feet in the country. So yes, without a schedule, I would be completely lost. And we would just be eating like hot dogs and macaroni and cheese and Pop-Tarts, and that's not healthy. So the kids had to do online schooling. We have to make sure that they do it. Even my daughter. The food had to be planned and prepared. That took planning. Also, it was according to what we could buy, what we could find in the stores, because, there were certain times throughout April that we couldn't buy things. And so we really looked forward to getting out of the house and exercising. Like the first part of April. Right now it's really hot, but the first part of April, just getting out and exercising was like, it was like a gift. And so we do live out in the country, so it was nice, and there was no one around, so we could just do it without worrying. So we planned, we planned that. So it's been a lot to keep going, a lot. And one of the things that has kept me sane during this quarantine has been my schedule. I don't completely understand why, but having something solid every day that I knew was going to happen, I could depend on, it kept me grounded enough to keep me from completely losing my mind. There were some days I did lose my mind, and especially in the beginning, I would watch something on the news, or I would just get triggered on Instagram or Facebook, and that was it. Like, made me feel like so scared for my future and my kids' future and all those things that I really thought I was losing my mind. And so having a schedule kept me tethered to reality. There's other things that kept me tethered to reality, but knowing that it doesn't, if a bill is coming due, or something broke and I can't call the repairman because nobody will come out, or something catastrophic happens and we have no emergency services, somebody gets hurt, we have no health insurance, the hospitals might not take us anyway, and if the hospitals do take us, like, we can't be there for each other. Just all the scary things. Just being able to block that out and make a meal, or go for a walk or hoop, or go for a little jog, making sure my son and daughter got their homework done, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, vacuuming. I mean, those are all tangible things that just kind of like kept me from going crazy. So I did that. I give myself an A++. I'll probably end up doing it for May as well. So 1 hour of yard work or outside work every day. I did, I think, as much as I could with the schedule. I got up and watered in the morning after breakfast. I would go water my garden and the garden over in my neighbor's little square. I've showed you guys that. Put water in the bird bath. I mean, that's my kid's chore, but I would do it if it needed it. Fed the birds, just, outside weeding the garden, planting seeds, just outside doing stuff like that. I don't think I did an hour every day, but I did get outside and do some every day. So that was probably unrealistic on my part, because I just did not have the time to spend an hour outside every day with having the kids both at home doing schoolwork and having to feed everybody 3 times a day. It just didn't happen. And I didn't know that going into this. I didn't know that that would be my reality, but it is. I didn't have the time. And then exercise a little more. Well, what I did was a lot more than I have been doing. Even though my thyroid numbers are high, and exercise wipes me out right now, I still felt like it was like a break. It was like I said earlier, like a gift. I just still felt like it was, I got to go outside and breathe the fresh air, got to listen to music, and then there's something about actually physically exercising and getting your heart rate up that just kind of gives your mind a break from thinking about everything else, and just listening to the music makes you feel good, and getting your heart rate up makes you feel good. So I looked forward to it until it got hot. So in May, I'm going to change it up a little bit. because like the last week of April, I didn't exercise at all. I just totally dropped out. But I would give myself probably like a 60, probably like a D. Because I did do it. I didn't do it every day, but I did a lot more than I have been. So I'm proud of myself for that. And it's one of those things that now I am just going to have to make myself do. I don't really, like when I was first learning to hoop, I would go out there and work at it every night, and I lost a lot of weight just because I was moving every night for like 45 minutes. But I know how to hoop now. I'm not learning anything new. So that's kind of the honeymoon is worn off kind of. And so now exercise is back to, it's just something that I have to do that I don't really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy it once I'm doing it, but getting out there and making myself, and I don't like with hooping, I don't necessarily always enjoy it once I'm doing it. When there's people in the house, I don't know why. Just right now with me being overweight and hooping, I just am like, ugh, I don't want anybody to see me. I don't want anybody to watch me do that. So anyway, I kind of feel the same way when I'm walking outside, because I'm not walking with shorts on because my thighs are rubbing together. And when I wear those yoga pants, I know I look terrible, but I mean, the only other option is to do like a videotape inside. I may be doing that during May because it's getting hot down here. So anyway, so this is my wrap up for April, and yeah, I'd like to know if you made any challenges for yourself, if you made any goals for yourself, and if you met them, and how you think you did during April, how you think you're doing during quarantine. I'd like to know how you're doing mentally, because I consider you my friends, and I would just like to know how you're doing. So just give me a comment and let me know if you're well and how you're doing. And if somehow you stumbled across this video and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I would love to have you. Also, please give me a thumbs up because that helps YouTube promote my video. And sorry, I am trying to grow my channel. I'm trying to grow my channel. And when you guys give me a thumbs up, that really helps. So I appreciate it. So yeah, that's it. And I will talk to you later, friends. Bye.